Oh, it's working? Good, good. Hey guys, it's Rick Wirt, coming from you from, it's kind of dark out. It's like 9 something in the evening for Key West, Florida. I've been trying to think of some more things that we could talk about, trying to, maybe something for someone else to kind of, get on the bitch wagon about. Something else I could, I know I went right for that gay text to show you that doesn't mean shit. It's all lies. Also went to the ideas of serving men, and how the text never says that male and female are not created equal. It never says anything like that at all. It says that the female has to submit to the male, but that's again, like putting a penis into a female. She should have this. She should say, okay, you can't, before that happens. But it's like a plug going into a receptacle is what we're talking about. This kind of knowing is not sex at all. It's about energies coming together. And I was telling a friend of mine today, I hope I don't get mixed up, get lost on the subject, but today we're going to be talking about slave text, the slave text. There's a few of them. It's we wind up finding it in Exodus, in chapter 21, believe it or not, 21. What does that add up to? 3. We're also going to find out who the servant is. You know who the servant is. That's you and me. We're the servant. What is a servant? A servant is a slave. All right. So anyways, while there's a lot of people worried about, I just heard these black people shouting at the top of their lungs that out of the Bible, how this is a white man's world. All this business right now with white man and blacks, or any third world country and stuff like the white supremacy and Black Lives Matters. I don't even know what Antifa or anything is. I'm going to have to go and check out what that means. What is that? But this is clearly things that are wrong. This is confusion. And remember, there is one master of lies and confusion, okay? And it's certainly doesn't have anything to do with higher conscious individuals, or those that wish at least to see it, or, have a taste of perhaps something better. And, the idea of no one knows any better because it's been hidden from us all these years. But the story, what I was going to tell, it was just real fast, before we get into this. I'm doing some project. We're getting ready for Fantasy Fest down here in a couple of months. At the end of October. It's a big party. But anyways, what happens is I'm looking up, the morning star, the rising star, the idea that this is Lucifer. It's also Venus. Lucifer has titties, right? That his Baphomet, he's got half man, half woman, because that's the position that he holds. This number 666 is you and me. He represents both the sexes. And if this, years and years ago, remember, the devil is kind of like a new thing, but, not really, because there are other destroyers about. But God in this Elohim business is a male and female energy. One is responsible for restoration and love and care and health, and the other is meant to be, the antagonistic one, the one that's a little mean, a little ornery, a little dirty. So it shows very much that there is a physical side of thing, and then there's this a quieter, less seeing. It's visible, the spiritual side, the spirit side of us. But we put together with ourselves as a soul that's running all this stuff. And he's just, when's someone going to call me home? When's someone going to call me home? Oh, but I digress. What I'm saying is that this is beautiful. It's a good, beautiful carved marble statue of Venus. And you're seeing her kind of bent, she's laid out on like a half bed of some kind, half couch, and you're seeing her buttocks and her beautiful legs coming down one side. It's just kind of hunched up so you can see that she has titties, but it's her back that you're catching on. But if you walk around this giant statue and come around the other side, you'll find that she's a hermaphrodite. She's got a very staunch, a very big piece of penis there, and an erect mode, sort of, because of the way she's laying. It's laying out real nice, and a couple of nice nuts on her too, just laying out there, lumped out like nobody's business. She is the wife of the devil. They share the same symbology, except she's the female side of all of this. It's the same thing, but she's of love. She's the one that's going to bring us here because she's a part of the female side, and you either have a mother or you have a wife, and she would be either one of those. But that's the way it works. They're really us. They're not promoting, go out there and cut your whacker off like Caitlyn Jennings and be some kind of someone called her Baphomets, perhaps so, because that's us. That's the skin. We are the devil. We are this. We are all those things. If you don't go up there and fix it. Get up there and connect them together. That's all it takes. All right. So, anyways, let's talk about the slave text, because I want to, it's always, I've gotten rid of this and I've gotten rid of that, and serves us all well to know that these are just allegories, that they really don't mean what they say on the top, and it's even more influence for you to hear something, to develop your ear off of this. And to show you that if you took the Bible by the letter kills. Just as plain and simple. That if you knew what it really said, and you could see it, and hear it, and understand with your heart, then it actually says something that saves us. Alright, let's out with no further ado on this. Here we go. Exodus. This is about buying people, separating them from their family, and making people slaves for life. All right, and don't tell me that they didn't use this stuff. This is very much what they've done for years and years and years, forever. And God told them to do it because the dumbasses read things off the top of those other verses were there. They were there. Who told them to skip over those? The ones about don't read it like this or it will kill. So it says here, now these are the ordinance which thou shalt set before them. When you buy a slave, he shall serve 6 years, and the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he comes in single, he shall go out single. If he comes in married, then his wife will go out with him. That's repeat. That's a repeater, right? If his master gives him a wife, and she bear him sons and daughters, the wife and the children shall belong to the master. And the man and the guy and the slave has to go out on alone. But if the slave plainly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him to God, and he shall bring him to the door or to the doorpost, and his master shall bore his head through with an awl, an AWL, an awl, and he shall serve him for life. That's some pretty mean shit. It's all the same thing. They're all the same. He didn't want to leave his kids. He's going to serve him for life. No, but he's going to kill him. He's going to kill him anyways, and then he's going to serve for life. That sounds really mean. Sounds really mean. Separate him from his family, and then kill him. All right. Wonder how many people went through that kind of a death, because this is the proper way. This is the proper way. Listen, I know some Jewish friends of mine that when it comes time for Passover, They clean that leaven out of their house. They make sure that it's not in the house. It's not anywhere, because they know that if there's one bit of leaven in the house, you miss the boat. You're gone. Boat set sail without you. Even if you had, on your very first day, you just got got caught with just a little bit anywhere close to your house, in your house. Hey, there you are. Next time, maybe get the back bus, because leaven means about bread that doesn't rise, and the bread in this term actually means thoughts, and so you don't want thoughts. And even if thoughts showed up at the very beginning of the 7 days of no leavened breads, if thoughts showed up there, it's out, it's just stopped. It's not easy to get in here. It's not a hop, skip, and a jump, but they do tell you got to go there. It's a practice. It's something that you practice to do. But anyways, that's what it means. And remember, you're the slave, when that frog prince married up, had that beautiful banquet, and all of a sudden here comes this coach in, and the guy, that was driving it, was just worn out and wrought, but what his master went through, what his servant went through, right? Exodus 21:20. So there's another 3 and 2. So it's something that they make. If a man beats his male or female slave with a rod, and the slave dies as a direct result, he may be punished. But he is not to be punished if the slave gets back up after a day or 2, since the slave was his property. Did you guys hear any of that? I'm testing your ears. I don't want to stop and talk about all of this. Could you imagine that? If you imagine I beat my slave, it looks pretty dead. Let's wait a couple of days to see if it might come back up. It'll be a little less punishment on me. Motherfuckers, man. God. Oh my God, that's terrible. This makes me sick. I'm making fun of it because it hurts, alright? Because it really happened. This doesn't stop things from happening. This hopefully tells you where it came from. It's just terrible. And they're not talking about black people. Talking about anybody. Exodus 21:32. There's another 3. That's what Exodus is. 21 is about the joining of the 3, the joining of God and his people. All right, those that are going to serve him. All right, and they've made it into something totally ugly. If a bull gores a male or a female slave, the owner must pay 30 shekels of silver to the master of the slave, and the bull must be stoned. Now, that's a no-brainer. It's always 30 shekels. When that gal cuts off Samson's hair, she's paid with silver. She's paid 30 shekels. What happens with Jesus and Judas? There's 30 pieces of silver. Remember, that's that point that's the moon between the change, that's waxing, and you're in the middle of a change, right? So, you got to pay the silver to pass that particular point. And, in reality, that's, remember, Pluto. Pluto is the god of the underworld, and stuff like that. That's where you have to pay the money to go across the water to get over to, this other place. Listen, this is seamless. I'm the only one that chuckles, fucks it up here and there because of my dyslexia. But otherwise, this shit's seamless. Alright? Leviticus. Oh, and the bull must get stoned. Alright, anyways. Leviticus 25:44. So that's 5, 6, 7. And 4 and 4 is 8. 7 and 8. Wow, so this is almost a completion and a control thing. Let's see. If your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. Temporary residents of those people that are in your own country, they can serve as your slaves. And you can will them to your children as inherited property, and can make them slaves for life. So here they are telling you to take it from your neighbor. Remember, you're always supposed to love your neighbor and stuff like that, and this, and you're always supposed to be one. You're one. The neighbor is the one that comes over and knocking all the time on the door wanting something. You know, the neighbor who's always wanting something. That's us when we're knocking on the door, trying to get God to open that up for us. Let us in. Let us in. Same thing. All right. So this is where you go and collect them. You collect them from your neighbors. Or you get those strangers from the town, from your own town. But it's really about kinsmen. A lot of times this is about, you know, bringing your kinsmen in, and that means your family. All right. Luke 7:2 is a beautiful little story where some guy, a centurion, has this slave that he loves more than anything, and he's sick. He's about to die. And he's asking Jesus to come. Okay, now, this is beautiful. So it's the centurion is going in meditation, and he's hoping that he, you know, he's without Jesus. He's without religion, not religion or spiritual. Spiritual side is dying. He's about dead. Jesus, will you see him? Well, he healed this guy. And of course, the people in this book that I was reading about this says, so this shows that, you know, Jesus doesn't mind that here's some centurion talking about a slave, and he didn't complain, you know. He didn't complain. He healed him. Go back. Your slave is taken care of. Your slave is healed. So that means, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so Colossians, let's just say Colossians. 3:22, so we know 3 is the joining together. That's the chapter 3. 22 is about 4. 22 would be 4. Slaves, obey in everything those who are your earthly masters. Obey in everything of those who are your earthly masters. Not with eye service as men pleasures, but in singleness of the heart, fearing of the Lord. Whatever your task, work heartily. Alright, so slaves, do whatever your earthly masters tell you to do. Now, that's what they told people, I think, when they came aboard those slave ships. That was the first thing. Our God gave us this right, and you can look at it in this book. Those that can read, you can check it out. This gives us the right to do this, you know. But all it really is telling us as masters, as people that are going under, to do as you do. You do what you said. You do what your master tells you. My master said, I've had enough of this shit. Pulled the old Moses on me. Get the goddamn family out of this place, you know. Or wait, that's Abraham. Get away from your family. Get out of your father's land and get the fuck out. Get the hell out of this place. That's what he's talking about. Jesus, the Bible telling us to beat our slaves. Can you imagine that? Here's Titus 2:9. Again, 2 is a creation, and 9 is a consciousness. Bid slaves to be submissive to their masters, and give satisfaction in every respect, that not to be refractory, not to pilfer, but to show entire and true fidelity. Oh, entire and true fidelity. That's really saying the same thing that Colossians is saying, you know, and to do it hurriedly. Remember when we find out in the Adam and Eve text with the killing of the brother Abel, his blood was soaked into the earth. God wasn't going to forget that. But this curse that once you find Cain, you are ordered to kill him on the spot. Don't dawdle. Bam! We want it done now. And you find out that, I'll be damned, I'm Cain. So, when you find out that you're Cain, God orders you to kill yourself. Immediately. Do yourself some good, right? And remember in his stories, he's always, I'm always going to be running around. People are always going to be wanting to kill me. Well, tough shit, man. That's the way it works. That's how it works. Our buddies, we're all in one here together. The 3 in 1. The Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, our mother. She's all in there. We're all in here. It's one big happy family. And ain't it a shame that people didn't read the Bible correctly and understand that there was something wrong. Nobody was ever able, that's where I get all my damnations from people. Is that, you're changing God's words. All the new editions that are being made of the Bible and all of the offshoots, this is what the Lutherans do, and this is what the Seventh-day Advents do. These are changing the words. Baptists, they're changing the word. It's the Catholics writing all these new books, the New Age, the new King James versions, the new without all the words, but and then they come right out and say a man can't sleep with a man. They take out thou, Listen, that's tampering with that's tampering. What I'm doing is actually reading the Bible. And look, did I start off one of these earlier? I did. Today I told you just the first 3 words of the Bible were about, the Son of Man giving himself up willingly to be devoured, on a cross, And we know that Jesus says that he is the Alpha and Omega. Look, he's at the beginning. I want to go and find out what the last words are, too. Maybe they say the same thing. Maybe, it'll be kind of fun out. Wow. He's at the beginning and he's at the end. But you'll have to find out that, who's in the middle. Remember, Buddha says the middle ground is where you want to be. And they also say in the Christian world is that keep your eye on the tree. We're the growth. We're the guys that are standing tall. We're in the forests with other trees. That's the wilderness. And so, you dive into the wilderness, to get away from things, and to be with everything, to be in the confusion of it all. And we'll be later on referred to as leopards. Leopard, it's confusion. The dots, it's just the idea is about that. It's just another animal that we're going to be. So what are we been so far? We've been elephants. We've been frogs. Lots of frogs coming down. We turn into arcs. My other boat, that was what I said. I was driving around in a dinghy. I said, my other boat is an ark. Yeah, it's kind of dry. It's my bad religious humor. But, we are the goose that lays the golden egg. We are the frog, the princess frog. We already talked about that, the prince frog. There's so many things, that are made hidden, that shows there's got to be something important about this. And of course we find out that it's really about reconnecting with the Lord, disconnecting from the outside world, having like a little lifeline, from wherever, so that we can maintain ourselves in this outside place, We're supposed to have life and have it more abundantly. And that doesn't mean, getting rich, but if that was really what you wanted, you know, then there could be a particular habit of yours that's keeping you from that, that money just falls between your fingers and stuff like that. But a lot of people have made a lot of money and gone up there, and it wasn't what they made. But I've seen it and heard it a lot. I have. And not that I witnessed it at all, but, fame in my town, was a little place. It's easy. I call it farting in a box, And what it allows me now that anytime I want to, to do something, to have make a painting or do something, I'm in a spot where I can get it. It's sold. It's gone. So it can go kind of at a different pace. So it can teach. I love teaching. Shut down everything. Just teach. And, 1 day or 2 days a week, and it's just fine. Just fine. I don't want to do more than that, But, anyways, get back up in there. Find this idea. This idea is to clean house every now and then, and this wonderful light that not only brings about better things in you, better thinking and better habits and stuff like that, better reflections, and just cleaning out. Who knows? Maybe you did this in your last life and you're just remembering it again now, and you're teaching other people this stuff, It's like me. I think maybe I just relearned this. Maybe I knew it before, And I just remembered it, and now I'm supposed to teach, so I'm going to teach. I've always loved teaching, And since I was a little kid, I always said, there's got to be something to this. I did. Just recollecting, tossing rocks at these children, this family that were Jehovah's Witnesses. And because of the clothes, they were kind of the way they dressed, and we made fun of them, and they traveled about in a giant van, and we just made fun of them. And I was just thinking, if this is all God, what's going on here, And I always thinking, I think anyone could be Jesus. That's what I bet these stories mean. I think anyone, if they really just wanted to wake up one day, anyone be this Jesus. And so that's what we're waiting on, for somebody to wake up and be this Jesus. And so in the back of my head, I've always wanted to know about what this is. I'm not no Jesus by no means, but Jesus did come to normal people that really did want to know more about this stuff. And when they say rich, and I say rich means I'm rich now. I just got this. I got it. I'm rich now. When they talk about rich people in the Bible, they either already got it, or rich means they don't got it. They're so high up it doesn't matter. They don't care. It just doesn't matter to them. And so it doesn't work on them. All right. Those will be those ones that'll show up on Sundays, on Easter and stuff like that. Make sure that they can at least get buried, and stuff like that. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick little lesson on, this racial thing is just awful. When we finally get even. It's the intellect, where I'm at right now, where we are in this skin, the black in us, serves the white, the east side. Which is that, the right side? The black, in our situation, toss your nets over to the right side of the boat. This is where you do your fishing from. The black has to serve the white. That's the whole idea. We are the servant. All of us, whether you're green or blue or orange or yellow. It just pains me that some idiots got a hold of this and gave us this crap. And now we live our world by it. And I had a friend over there, and she goes, Ricky, what does it matter if it's truth or not? I said, it's because we're living in a lie. The whole world is a lie. It's even more than a lie. It's, because they already said that it was made up. That when you finally see through everything and you can see the actual makeup, This is what we're getting into. We're looking at the actual building blocks and the workings of the Bible, of the nature of world, And somewhere way back then, when they pushed religion, the female goddess took it. She took it. Something happened. She was decapitated. Something happened. No, she's still there. I don't think anything can still happen in this world without that energy. But to have no one come up and say hi, I bet she's lonely. There's your desolation and isolation. And they know how awful it is for most of the people that are down on the ends, and everyone else looking for the end of times. Kill me, kill me, kill me, kill us, destroy us. They're having a great old time, Imagine what's living in their mind. I can, because I had that. Gone. Let's keep the feast, y'all. Purge that crap. So what? They take us with us. Yeah. But you don't have to live the same crap. You don't have to live the lie. You can watch. Like I've said before, just say, my goodness. Something's supposed to be real sweet about people like you and I that try to bring light into the world. We just wait, We believe. Something beautiful is going to happen to us. Something beautiful is going to happen to the world around us. And we share it. So it ain't nothing that one person can hoard on himself. Like all these people. That's my God. That's my God. That's my God. Their God, there's God's right inside of them. But they're talking? No. Jesus says, you can talk to me in my ear all day long, but I just don't know you. And it's that close. They're not allowed to interfere. This electrical thing, you have to pay 30 pieces of silver to get in there. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. I'm going to try to paint. I'm going to get this uploaded first and get it started. Then put on something that's going to be like 3 hours long. But that's how long. And this is 30 minutes. This is probably going to be 4 hours. I love you guys. This is God honest truth.